I'm gonna be rich from day trading. I don't know when, but I know it's gonna happen. And this is week number 32 of trying to get my first payout from day trading at 17 years old. I've been documenting my whole entire journey online, so make sure you check out all my videos right here. And make sure you follow my socials down in the description below. But here's a recap of my whole entire journey so far, and here's a recap of last week. Last week we took no trades, but we was already down on the eval account a week before, so we still down a little in drawdown. This is not a big hole for us. We can get out of this within 1 or 2 trades. We just got to be smart and be patient and wait for the right setup. So this week we're gonna try to be patient, slow, and try to hurt. Just trying to find a good setup to get up out of drawdown. Here's how we took 2 losses today. Honestly, I didn't take the best trades today, and here's why. So market open around here. All right, and it just shot up. My original thought process, I wanted price to come down, sweep session lows right here, and then target these longs to this high right here, session high right here. But price immediately ripped up, swept this high, and then boom, 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 rest of the day. So my thought process was boom, high, and then price inverse is 1 minute gap, but there's also a 5 minute gap too, that inverse right here, or maybe it was a 3 minute gap, and I was just targeting this low because price looked like it wanted to continue lower. It was respecting bearish gaps, and then it's looking real bearish. So I thought price was wanted to go lower and sweep this low, like my original bias was. Even though I was majority long, like my overall bias was long, I did want price to come down and sweep this, but I entered off this inverse, and then we just get it stopped out real quick, and then I tried to continue longs, price boom, go straight to this order block, boom, and up. It was a Ferrari gap right here. I don't know why it's just a gap. It was a Ferrari gap, so I entered off of price respecting this and just targeting a 1-on-1. And I was just gonna try my stop loss, but we didn't get it. We didn't get what we wanted, and we ended up taking a loss. We took 2 full losses today, but then we ended up forcing a trade, forcing a long, like right here, and we ended up winning a couple dollars. So we're not as deep in drawdown as he was. So we still in drawdown on the account, but we got $200 left out of 100 out of $1,000 drawdown. So yeah, we're gonna see what tomorrow do, and we just try to be more selective on the trades we take. Here's how we ended up blowing our account today. We took 2 trades total, and these weren't even bad trades in my eyes, but we ended up blowing our account. So the first trade we took, we ended up winning, but we ended up risking like too little on it. So it didn't really give us much leeway in the drawdown, in the deep drawdown we was in. But the second trade, we risked kind of heavier just because I was more confident in it. And I put my stop down here, but yeah, that ended up didn't play out. So boom, price came down, changed the state right here, and inverse this 1 minute gap. And I set a limit order down here just to get a better entry versus award. And we ended up getting filled, and then price goes straight to our TP. So that was a great trade, banger trade. If we would have risked up on that, then we would have had been up more in drawdown. So we wouldn't have blown our account on this, but it's all good. And then price boom retraced OTE, retraced and OTE respected. Boom, look at this. It respected it. And then inverse this 1 minute gap. I was like, okay, it wants to continue higher. It's like, that's more than enough confirmation for me. But as soon as we enter price, boom, dumps. Dumps to the stop loss, sweep this low, and then does whatever. I don't know. But just these 2 trades were not bad trades in my eyes. Even though we ended up losing and blowing our account, I'm not mad at today whatsoever. Here's how we ended up catching a dub on our new eval account. So we just got a new 50K eval account, and on our first trade on the eval, we ended up hitting. But with this account, I'm gonna try to risk down a little bit because I just been blowing accounts left and right. So I'm not risking the usual amount of risk. So it's gonna take a little longer to pass, but at least it'll take longer to blow my account still. So we took a 1-to-1 trade, and honestly, I wanted market open right here, and I was looking for price to reach into this gap and then go higher, but it went down farther than the gap. And I was just waiting on this 5 minute inverse, but it inversed all the way up here, so that wouldn't have gave me a good verse to award. And then I didn't get a retracement, so I just waited. I was patient, and then price boom retraced before taking this high, and then change the state right here, and it inversed this gap. And all I was looking for was a good entry just to get a good risk to reward. So I set a limit order right here, right into this fair value gap, and ended up hitting it. I wasn't even in drawdown, and then straight to our TP. We ended up going break even right here, but it didn't go break even. So banger trade today. We didn't take any trades today, and that's just on us. We could have had a big dub today, but we just didn't trade because we wasn't at our phones today. So market open, and honestly, we just look embarrassed. So I'm just trying to go with the flow. And then price formed the 15-minute gap right here, retrace into it, and then boom, change the state on this candle right here, this big candle. And I didn't enter here. I don't know why. I wasn't at my phone and I didn't enter. And we had a second opportunity to enter during this trade off of this retest of this gap, 1 minute gap, and the inverse. We could have entered this short right here and then targeting this low. And then both of those trades would have ended up hitting. But we just didn't take them just because it wasn't on our phone. And we just got to be more aware and just be better at that. We didn't take any trades today. And honestly, it wasn't no great setups today. But looking back, I could have took one setup, but it wasn't the best still. So market open right here, reached into a 15-minute gap right here. And I was looking for longs out of it, but price inversed this gap. So I was looking for shorts after that. But we went up higher. So after I see that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to lift the longs again. So I was just waiting for an entry model. I really wanted to get some down here, but it was just nothing down there. So I just waited. Price came up, manipulated down, and honestly, I could have entered off this inverse, but I just wasn't the most confident in it because I don't know. We just swept these two highs, and the next high was all the way up here, previous high day. So I wasn't too confident in it. But then price boom came up, almost changed its state, retraced down into a gap, and then it inversed 1 minute gap right here. And then this could have been a potential entry. Put my stop loss down here and just target a 1-to-1 or even target previous high day, and it wouldn't have hit. But probably a 1-to-1 would have been best for me, and that would have ended up hitting. So I could have taken that, but I just want the most confident in it, and that's the only reason I didn't take it. Because I'm just trying to preserve my capital, preserve, and just only take the A+ trades. Here's how we ended up getting two trades today, and both of them ended up break even. So today wasn't the best day just because my mental was just off a little bit because like I just wasn't confident in the trades I was taking. It was just off. I just didn't trust them. I don't know if it was a price action. I don't know if it was me, but market open, swept the high, all-time highs, and then I was honestly just looking for a retracement down lower and continue higher because all-time highs want to go higher, I guess. But we went down, and I could see that we didn't want to go higher. Because if we would have been higher, we would have respected this gap that we're in, but we didn't. So price went into a 1 minute gap, respected it, and then dumped lower. So I was looking for an entry model, but I didn't want to enter all this change in state just because my risk to avoid wouldn't have been there. So I set a limit order as soon as price into this order block right here, and we ended up getting filled, and then price came down into our profits a little bit, and that's when we ended up break even, and then price came up and then went to our TP. So if we would have just stayed and stuck with it and just trusted ourselves, we would have ended up hitting this trade for full TP and a 1.5 reward. So that would have been a banger. But the same thing happened with this trade pretty much. Soon as price boom swept this low, I entered, put my stop up here, and just targeting session lows right here. And as soon as price wanted to dump down in profits, I'm thinking, okay, if it wants to continue lower, it'll just go straight down. Ain't no need for a retrace. But we did get a little retrace. and I put my stop right here, and we ended up getting stopped out. And then, boom, almost all the way to TP, but we didn't reach it fully. But yeah, I just got to do better. Stop going break even so early. Well, that was week number 32 of trying to get my first payout from day trading at 17 years old. And as you can see earlier in the week, we blew our account actually. We just blew our entire account, and then we took a week break and then hopped back on it. And now that week break, now we up on the eval account trading. So I mean, maybe that week break helped, but I feel like we gonna pass the eval account. We up on the eval, and now if I take another win, I feel like I'm gonna pass this account, but that's next week. So make sure y'all stay tuned for next week, because this might be the one. This might be the account that I get this payout on, but we gonna see. But the lesson I learned from this week is that I just gotta trust in my edge and stop going break even so early. I know that this was a lesson in the previous week, but I don't remember exactly which week it was. But I know I just gotta be more patient. No, not more patient. I just gotta trust in my edge way more and stop going break even, because I'd be missing out on so many banger trades, but just because I go break even so early, and then that's just on me. I ain't gonna lie. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you stay tuned for next week. Check out my other videos, and see y'all in the next one.